Have you ever felt that peculiar weight? It's not exactly physical, is it?
No, not at all.
But it settles, like deep down, maybe bends your spirit a bit, clouds your vision, makes you wonder if, your own light has dimmed somehow.
That feeling of being watched.
Exactly. Judged, measured against standards you can't even always see.
Yeah.
So today we're doing a deep dive into something really powerful, a concept that honestly promises a kind of profound freedom, the courage to be disliked.
And it's crucial to say this isn't about just being difficult or seeking rejection.
No, not at all. It's more like a revolutionary act, reclaiming your authentic self. We're drawing inspiration here from some insights explored by the YouTube channel Queen.
That's right. And the sources we've gathered for this, they offer this really rich philosophical look at authenticity, social acceptance, all that. Psychological development, too.
It's a blend, isn't it?
It really is. Ancient wisdom meets modern, which makes it, I think, incredibly fertile ground for understanding.
So our mission today.
Our mission is to unpack not just what this courage looks like, but really how we can start to reclaim our true self, especially in a world that feels like it's always demanding a performance.
Okay, let's really lean into that peculiar weight then. Our sources, they describe it settling on us when we feel observed, scrutinized.
Evaluated against those shifting expectations, it's exhausting.
Totally exhausting. That feeling of constantly bending ourselves in half, hoping for approval that, let's be honest.
It often never really comes.
Right. It's captured so well in those lines. Change my voice, change my ways, lost myself for days, but your approval never came, and I'm tired of this game.
Yeah.
You ever feel like you're doing those mental gymnastics?
Oh, absolutely. And it's striking how immediately that feeling connects to, really deep psychological ideas. Carl Jung, for instance.
Jung, the persona, right?
Exactly, the persona, the mask we wear for social interactions. And look, it's not inherently bad. It serves a function, helps us navigate roles.
Yeah, you need it sometime.
But the problem, and this is Jung's big warning, really, it arises when we get so identified with that mask
that we lose touch with who's underneath.
Precisely. We forget that masks are meant to come off. That's the core insight. The persona helps us function, but freedom starts when we remember we own the mask. We can choose.
And the philosophy behind this, it's huge. You go back to the ancient Greek, human flourishing.
Right. Often translated as happiness, but Aristotle meant some flourishing, living well, realizing your potential. Pleasure.
It's about potential.
So how can we flourish? How can we realize that potential if we're constantly pruning ourselves, editing ourselves down to fit shapes other people want?
Trimming away the unique edges.
Yeah. Editing thoughts before they even leave our mouths. It's like this insidious self-censor.
You've really hit on something there, because that ancient struggle, it mirrors a very modern kind of despair. Think about Søren Kierkegaard.
Sickness unto death. Exactly. Not physical sickness, but that deep, gnawing internal despair that comes from failing to be truly yourself.
Even if things look great on the outside.
Especially then, that inner emptiness. Kierkegaard thought it was maybe the most common human problem, but it often goes unseen because it can hide behind success, behind contentment,
So it makes you wonder how many people are dying inside while everyone's clapping for a version of them that isn't even real.
It's a sobering thought.
And it's fascinating, almost scary how this plays out now with social media. It's like these platforms give us unprecedented tools for this existential sleight of hand.
Crafting versions of ourselves.
Optimized for likes, shares, comments, not truth. We literally curate our lives like museum exhibitions.
It's picking just the right artifact.
Leaving the messy, complicated, real stuff in storage. And what does that constant performance actually do to us?
Well, the irony is just profound. In trying so hard to be more likable, we often end up less authentic.
And therefore,
paradoxically, less genuinely likable in a deep way. People sense authenticity,
Yeah.
Even if they can't quite name it, we recognize realness.
So the performance creates a barrier.
Exactly. A barrier to the genuine connection we actually crave. So this fear of being disliked, maybe it's really the fear of just existing without the mask in a world that seems to demand.
Wow. It really underscores how deep this fear goes. The sources call it the terror of standing naked. Not physically, but
psychologically.
Spiritually, yeah. And it pushes against millions of years of evolution, right? For our ancestors. Getting kicked out of the group, that was basically death sentence.
No tribe, no survival. Simple as that.
The saber-toothed tiger might be gone, but we have new predators. A viral tweet, the algorithm making you invisible, or just that deep existential hunger from living a life that isn't yours.
It's powerful how the source puts it. The body remembers what the mind, in a way, that ancient fear still acts.
Okay, so we understand the weight, the cost of wearing the mask.
Yeah.
The big question then is, how do we start to lift it? How do we find that courage to break free?
The journey inward.
Yeah. And the sources are clear. This is an easy street. It demands, they say, almost superhuman courage. But the courage to be disliked, it's not just an idea.
No, it's a lived reality.
It has to be.
And a key insight here, I think, is that the self isn't some fixed thing waiting to be found. It's more like an ongoing process of becoming.
Which brings us back to Jung.
It does. His idea of individuation, think of it like a sculptor slowly revealing the true form inside the marble, or an artist mixing all the unique colors.
Bringing it all together.
Yeah, integrating all the parts of your personality to become who you're truly meant to be. And that includes confronting the shadow.
The parts we don't like.
Yeah.
Or hide away.
Exactly, the rejected bits. But here's the thing. The shadow also holds our unlived potential. So reclaiming it, integrating it, it makes us more complex, maybe even a bit threatening to people who like things simple.
But it's essential for wholeness, for self-acceptance.
Absolutely essential.
And for practical steps. Starting point. The Stoics come up, right?
Oh, definitely. Epictetus, Marcus, their core teaching. You just cannot control what others think of you.
You can only control your own actions, your own responses.
Right. Marcus Aurelius wrote it for himself constantly. How much trouble he avoids, who does not look to see what his neighbor says or does, but only to what he does himself.
And that's not about being selfish.
No, it's empowering.
Yeah.
Focus your energy where you actually have age inside yourself.
Okay, so that connects to our inner work. Jung again, projection.
You got it. Projection. Often when we're worried about what others think, it's really our own self-judgment bouncing back at us.
We fear their criticism because it echoes our own inner critic.
Exactly. So maybe the courage to be disliked actually starts with the courage, or at least accept ourselves. Deep.
Self-compassion becomes key then.
It's crucial. How can you risk being real with others if you're constantly harsh with yourself?
Makes sense.
The Buddhist tradition of metta, loving kindness, really you start by cultivating that genuine goodwill to self first. Then you can extend it out.
Now, I can hear people thinking, okay, but if I just focus on myself, won't I get lazy, just self-indulgent?
That's a common fear, for sure. But the sources are clear. True self-acceptance isn't passive. It includes accepting our capacity for growth, for change.
And taking responsibility.
Full responsibility. For consciously choosing which impulses to act on, which norms make sense. It's the difference between, say, mature authenticity, making conscious, and just adolescent rebellion, which is often just reacting against things.
So it's intentional, not just doing whatever feels good.
Right. And this path, finding that mature, it often involves what Jung called the dark night of the soul.
Sounds intense.
It can. Periods of confusion, doubt, internal conflict, grappling with competing desires, values, fears about who you're becoming. It's uncomfortable, disorienting.
But necessary.
Essential, the sources say, for psychological growth. It forces you to look at assumptions you never questioned, confront parts of yourself you've avoided. You come out stronger, more integrated.
We also need to acknowledge, though, Maslow's hierarchy, right? Basic needs matter.
Absolutely. Authenticity is an aspiration. And the courage to be disliked, it's not some moral rule that applies equally everywhere all the time. Safety, security, belonging, those often have to come.
But for those of us who do have the privilege of choice, and that's probably many lists, the question gets more urgent, doesn't it?
It really does.
Think about like the professional stuck in a soul-crushing job, not because they'll starve otherwise, but because of fear of judgment or financial insecurity, maybe, these psychological chains.
And those can be harder to break than physical ones, because they're invisible, deeply ingrained.
Yeah.
And it's vital to remember this isn't a one-shot deal, not a single decision. It's an ongoing practice, like building muscle.
How do you practice?
Through small risk. Expressing a genuine opinion, maybe in a low-stakes situation first, making a choice based on what you want, not what others expect, gradually pushing your comfort zone for being real.
Could be as simple as saying what movie you actually want to see.
Exactly. Or picking the restaurant you prefer, instead of just going along. The key thing is, courage isn't about not feeling fear. It's about acting despite. And that's a skill you can definitely develop.
And the amazing thing is, as we start doing this, stop performing. It changes our relationships, doesn't it?
Profound. When you shed the mask, free up so much mental and emotional energy that was going into maintaining the facade.
And that energy can go towards
genuine connection, empathy. Martin Buber talked about the I-thou relationship.
Treating others as subjects, not objects.
Right. Seeing their own rich inner lives, not just seeing them as people to impress or manage.
It makes you wonder, though, that fear of losing relationships if you become authentic.
Yeah.
What if it's based on a faulty assumption? What if the current relationship is actually attached to the performance, not the real you?
That's a really important question, because authentic relationships, the ones built on reality, they tend to be more mutually satisfying. They allow others to love and accept your true self, not the facade.
Which leads to deeper intimacy.
Much deeper. Connection based on reality, not a...
So it becomes about quality over quantity.
Definitely. The sources suggest that losing relationships based on false pretenses, it actually creates space.
Space for what?
Space for relationships based on real understanding, real finding your tribe. People who share your values, appreciate you for who you are.
And the internet helps with that now, finding those like-minded people.
It really does. Connects us across geography.
It's a different kind of satisfaction too, isn't it? Compared to, say, social media likes.
Oh, completely. Those quick hits of approval online, they can be addictive, sure, but they're fleeting, ultimately unsatisfying.
Whereas authenticity.
Authenticity cultivates intrinsic motive. It connects you back to activities that feel meaningful to you, regardless of whether anyone else approves or even notices.
It's like waking.
That's a great way to put it. Our sources talk about it feeling like coming back to life after a long period of sleepwalkings, finding purpose, joy again.
And the impact goes beyond just us, right? There's a ripple effect.
A huge ripple effect. Every time someone chooses authenticity, even in a small way, it subtly gives others permission to consider doing the same.
Modeling it for kids.
Or inspiring colleagues. Or just creating those small moments of real, genuine meeting in daily life. It's like a quiet revolution spreading person by person.
It really is.
And again, it's a lifelong process. Our sources call it a psychological metamorphosis, like the caterpillar to the butterfly. It needs ongoing development, self-awareness, emotional intelligence, trusting your inner voice.
So authenticity isn't a destination you just arrive at.
No, not at all. It's more like a quality of presence you cultivate, an ongoing creative challenge you engage whole life.
So wrapping this up, we've journeyed through this idea, this challenge, the courage to be disliked. It's not really about wanting people to dislike you.
Not at all. It's about being free.
Free.
Yeah.
Free to discover who you are. Free to express that without constant apology. Free to connect genuinely based on who you really are, not who you pretend to be. So the question for you listening is, what would it truly mean for you to live your one precious life as yourself rather than as someone else's idea of who you should be?
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. Remember this freedom. It's both our birthright and, in a way, our responsibility. We can't wait for the world to change or for everyone to approve before we start living genuinely.
The choice is always now.
Always. Every moment, every interaction, no matter the light of authentic living is shine. Others react. What small act of